Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. My name is David Pendleton, and today I'm going to give you a detailed walkthrough on the Safari Sunrise Tournament, which is Golf Clash's latest tournament that's out right now. So I'll take my time today and kind of show you the landmarks that I'm looking for. We'll pause on our spin adjustments. I'll walk you through the elevation, and I really think if you're able to follow this guide and take some notes along the way, then you can tailor that to your own playing style. And, you know, this is going to help you finish at the top of your bracket for sure. So I played all my accounts today. So I have saved replays from each one of my accounts. I dropped a few shots on one account, dropped some other shots on the other account. So overall, it was a very successful day with hitting the ball perfect. So I feel very confident in giving you all some high quality content on a Monday, which is nice because typically I do these on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But again, I was able to hit a lot of perfect balls today and really put together a good video for everybody to follow along with. So last thing before we dive in, if you do find this helpful, then please help me out and hit the subscribe button. It would be much appreciated. So we're going to go into hole number 1, which is a par 4, and we're going to play this with a katana ball, all right? And the reason we're doing a katana is simply for the side spin, because we're going to go 3 top spin, and then we're going to go as much right spin as it allows us with the 3 top. So let's take a look at that real quick. So no matter your extra mile, that right there, that right there is your spin adjustment. So 3 top, and then as much right side spin as possible. Now the nice thing about this hole is if you line up where I line up at, which is where pretty much everyone's going to be lining up at, a great left or a great right is not going to matter. You're going to be on the fairway no problem. Now, you know, whenever I play, like I say, I always look for consistency with my drives. So I use landmarks when I play, and then I write this down. So for example, when I'm taking notes, I put down 3 top spin, as much right spin as possible, and I'm putting my orange ring right there against the rough line on the right-hand side. So this way, if I hit the ball perfect, I'm going to know how many yards I get, and then I'm going to know what to do on my second shot. So from here, you know, we're going to pull 10% elevation on our rings. And then we're just taking a normal shot, okay? No overpower, just a normal shot. And you saw that I hit a great right there, but no harm, no foul. Great right, great left, perfect. It's all going to be somewhere in the same yardage range. The only thing that'll differ is going to be just maybe, you know, how much of your club you have to use on the next shot, whether you're at minimum, mid, or max. But if we go into shot number 2, this is going to be shot number 2. I'm using the Goliath. And the spin adjustment that you want to use with the Goliath when you're in this range is about 3 backspin, all right? Now, the key is you don't have a fully developed ball guideline with your Goliath. Now, since I use this club so much, I have a very good idea of how far my ball rolls whenever I hit the shot. So for me, and it's going to be the same for you, I'm leaving this one about 1 green square short of the pin. Now, I like to use backspin because I think backspin allows you to control the ball more. It slows down the ball on the bounce. So I use 3 bars of backspin, and I would suggest that you do the same. And from here, I'm just playing my club at minimum distance. Again, you know, so minimum distance, no elevation, 3 bars of backspin, aiming pretty much directly at the pin, and we snuck it right on the right-hand side of the cup. All right. So that's hole number 1, able to pick up a birdie on, or I'm sorry, an eagle on that hole, which is a great start to the tournament. Because now that brings us into hole number 2. Now, hole number 2, everybody, you need to bring your big dog, okay? You can play it with a sniper, but if you take the type of drive that I take, you can do it with a sniper, but the only problem is you have to use some overpower on the second shot, which I don't like. And I don't consider this par 5 to be a good albatross opportunity. In fact, you're going to see a lot of people end up in the rough and the sand, which is going to destroy their ability at an easy eagle. And I do believe this hole is an easy eagle with a kingmaker and a big dog. So here's how we're playing it. We're playing shot number 1 at 10% elevation. And here is your spin adjustment. Okay, so 2 top spin, and then max right spin. Now with an extra mile 8, I'm lining up, as you're going to see, right there. My orange ring is on the rough line, okay, at the plus 16 yard mark, which is max distance of an extra mile 8. Now if you're playing with an extra mile 6 or 7 or something like that, you line up similar to this, but it's going to be a little bit different because your rings are smaller or bigger depending on the extra mile level that you're using. That's why it's important for you to take your own notes. But this is where I'm lining up. Orange ring at the right rough line. Now from here, we're going to adjust 10% elevation. We will not be pushing it back up to max, so just adjust. Take a normal shot, no overpower, but half of a bar of right curl. We hit a perfect ball. And you're going to see by lining up this way and using that right curl, we have no fear of too much topspin. We have no fear of any bunker and no fear of any rough. So now that's going to bring us into shot number 2. Now shot number 2, it's important to know we're playing this at 20% elevation. And when you get around that 343, 345, somewhere in the 340 yard mark, all you need to apply is about half of a bar of top spin and a few bars of left side spin. So something like that will be what you're using. All right, now this is on a big dog 8, but regardless, they're going to have the same power on the big dog. You're going to have 180 power on it. Now, the only thing that you need to do before you strike this ball is adjust with 20% elevation and use a little bit of overpower, not a ton. Because you see we're very close to this rough line right here, which you see me trying to get away from, but I'm not able to. So the way that we're going to fix that is 20% elevation, push it back up to max, and you see here just a little bit of overpower. There's not a lot of overpower needed. And you don't want to use a lot so you don't go flying past the hole, which is easy to do when you use a club like a big dog, which you don't use too often. So you see we come in really nice, really smooth, and maybe with a little bit more left side spin, we drop that one for an albatross. But either way, we're starting off 4 under through the first 2 holes, which is a great start to any tournament. Now, hole number 3 is going to take us into our first par 3 of the tournament. And it's important on this one that you use a quarterback. And you can use a katana. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways to play this. I used the katana at first. I didn't like the way the ball rolls. It's a very simple birdie. You can dial it in for a hole-in-one. But after this, I'm going to show you using a power ball. So a Win 5 Power 2, which is a chocolate ball. Or there's a lot of other balls like that. In fact, the ball that just came out, I think it's called the Speedway ball. That's the same stats. But you're going to use a quarterback and a katana. And you're going to pull your quarterback down into the rough until you're at absolute minimum distance of your club. So right there where it meets that line. Now from here, we're just really going to be spinning the ball into the hole, or as close as possible as we can. Now, the one thing I didn't account for here was a little bit of the headwind, but this was my first time playing the hole. So, you learn your lessons on that one. But I did go max right spin. I used 1 bar of top spin, and I purposely offset. So let me bring that back here. So you see how I'm aiming to the left side of the hole? That's called offsetting. There's a pretty good space between my rough bump and the hole, to where that 7.5 mile wind is going to push me back towards the hole after my ball bounces. Now I'm using 0% elevation on this shot. at absolute minimum distance. Just a normal shot. And you can see here that we roll back towards the hole like I thought we would, but we needed just a little bit more top spin to sneak that one in there. All right. So that's just going to show you that a katana and a quarterback is a really good, safe way to play this hole, and you can definitely get a hole-in-one on it. Now, I'm looking for my other replay. I'm sorry. You know, just when I thought I had everything organized. Of course I don't. Oh, you know what? Never mind. The chocolate ball is a different hole. My fault. So that's how I will be playing hole 3. I'll definitely be playing hole 3 with the katana and that spin adjustment, just a little bit more top spin. I apologize about that. It's a different hole. It's going to be hole 5. I'm going to show you how to hole-in-one with a Win 5 Power 2. This brings us on to hole number 4. Hole number 4 is, I think it's going to be a pretty consistent eagle, to be honest with you. So we're going to go Titan ball. And we're going to go full top with about 4 bars of left spin. And what I'm trying to do here is I just want my ball guideline to be in the middle of the fairway. So we're just looking for consistency. We're looking to make this one easy. So if we hit great right or great left, we're not dead in the water. So put the ball guideline right in the middle of the fairway. We're going to do a 10% adjustment. And we're going to just take another normal shot, all right? No overpower. It's best to avoid overpower as much as possible because overpower is very hard to hit perfect and it's very hard to get a consistent yard mark. So you see here, no fear of running into the rough or right on the fairway, which brings us here to shot number 2. Shot number 2, we're using a thorn. And you can see I'm basically at minimum distance. Anytime I'm that close, I just play at absolute minimum distance with my elevation. So again, you know, I like to use backspin to control the ball. And you can see here, there's a little bit of a glitch on the green to where your ball guideline disappears. So make sure that whenever you take this shot, your ball guideline is developed like that and you're aiming through the pin, okay? And then, like I said, I played this one minimum distance with 0 elevation. And we drop that one on the right side of the cup as well. Now we'll head into hole number 5. So hole number 5 is going to be our next par 3. Now what we're going to be doing on this one is we're going to be using a sniper with a katana. And let me show you why I don't like this shot here. Although if you don't want to use a money ball, something you pay for, you'll see you can definitely take this one as a very easy birdie, of course. You can spin the ball right into the hole, just like this. But the only thing I don't like about this rough bump is you have to adjust your target into the sand. And anytime you do that, you're going to lose a little bit of power on your ball. So what you can do is you can push your target back up about a ring after you make this adjustment, or you can use a little bit of overpower. All right. So you see here, obviously being my first time taking this shot today, I made it onto the green. I knew that was going to be no problem, but we would have to add more top spin on this one to counter effect our ball dying so much. But if you're somebody who spends money on the game like I do, now I only use money balls in tournaments, and this would be a really good situation to use a Win 5 Power 2 ball and I'll show you why. So right here, we're able to line up basically in the same area, but look how much of the wind goes down. We went from a 6.5 mile wind to under 4, so we're at 3.9. So this is my second time taking a crack at this hole, and I thought, why not give this a shot with a money ball and see what happens. So I thought about just going this way to totally eliminate the rough bump and just go from fairway to green. And that's dead center. So that's how I'm going to be playing this one the rest of the tournament. So we'll watch it again. So we're basically somewhere in between mid and mid of our club. So minimum and mid distance of our club. And this was a really easy spin adjustment. I just kind of put my yellow ring over here by the rough line and just started spinning into the hole, and then kind of move my target around to see how my ball guideline changes, right? See if I can find a good consistent roll on the green, and it looked consistent enough. So from there, I adjusted at 0% elevation. Took a normal shot, and we ended up dead center in the pin. So, anytime you're able to tame the wind on a par 3, you're at a huge advantage. So this will be one hole I am using a money ball on. But as you can see, you can definitely do the same type of shot with the katana. Maybe just eliminate the rough bump and just spin into the hole with the katana from fairway to fairway, let it roll into the green and into the pin. So there's a couple different ways to play that one. You play however you're comfortable with and whatever your ball bag allows you to play with. But let's head on to hole number 6. So hole number 6 is another par 5, all right? And this brings about our best opportunity at an albatross, in my opinion. Now, I am going to gamble a little bit on the drive, and I don't really consider it gambling because I think it's going to be pretty safe, even if you mess it up. But let's go with a Titan and a Sniper. And you can see here that I'm just going for it. I'm not even going to mess around with going to the left-hand side and do the fairway to fairway hop. I'm going to play the right-hand side, and I'm going to use the tailwind in our favor. So I'm going to make my adjustment at 10%. I'm using 5 top spin and as much left spin as possible, and then pushing back up into max. Now take a notice right here where my ball's at. So this is me adjusting halfway into the target. So if I ever say overpower half into the target, that's what I mean right there. We hit a great ball, because overpower is more inconsistent. But look, we have all this fairway to work with. We have no fear of really messing up this drive, and we get really nice distance. So 410 yards is going to set us up for our second shot. Shot number 2, we're going to play with no elevation, and we've hit enough distance to play with our Goliath. So I really like playing with the Goliath on this hole. Again, it's a club that I'm very used to, and you can see me using a lot of backspin again. Backspin allows you to get good ball control, and it allows for a very consistent roll. Now, you see I'm leaving my ball guideline a little bit short of the hole, so we'll zoom in on that in a second. So it looks like I settled in for about 4 bars of backspin. We make the adjustment with 0% elevation and just another normal shot, no overpower, nothing like that. We strike a perfect ball, and we get a really good hop there into the cup. So now, obviously, we're going to take the albatross. That is not going to be a consistent roll from time to time, because technically we came in, a little bit too hot. So what I will do next time is I'm going to add a little bit more backspin, which is going to tame that ball down a little bit. But that gives you an idea. It shows you the albatross opportunity is there. It wasn't difficult. It was an easy drive. Use a lot of backspin on the second shot and just control your ball into the hole. We came in a little hot, so we got a really nice bounce, which tells us the 0% elevation is good. It shows us we were directly lined up into the hole. All we have to do is add a little bit more backspin. That'll calm the ball down, and instead of hopping into the hole, we'll roll into the hole next time. All right, well, hopefully we'll do that, right? So hole number 7. Now, I'm going to show you 2 ways to play hole number 7. This was my first attempt at it. So let's talk about this for a second. Hole number 7 is 30% elevation. You're going to use a Kingmaker ball. And if you have a sniper like I do, sniper level 9, level 10, we're going to play this one between minimum and mid-distance of your club, all right? That's how we're going to play this one. And we're going to use backspin to control the ball. So take a notice at my first shot, my first attempt on this hole today. So right here, we're at 4.5 back, and I'm trying to find my distance by wiggling around. But this is what I settle for. All right, so we have straight tailwind, 6 mile per hour tailwind. I use backspin, and look, I'm leaving my ball guideline just short of the pin. So I thought, okay, there's a lot of secondary push here. Let me leave it a little bit short with about 4 bars of backspin and see what happens. Basically aiming directly into the hole. I make my adjustment with 30% elevation in mind. Of course, no overpower. We just strike a normal ball. We hit the ball perfect. Now look at this bad boy take off. All right. So easy birdie, obviously. But let's figure out how to correct it. So here on my second attempt today, on my other account, my main account, checking my adjustments again. I'm between minimum and medium distance. But you'll see what I do differently this time. And this was just to test it out to see what happened. So I'm back around that 4 bars of backspin. But now look at this. Look where I found a different part of the green. See how I'm not aiming into the hole anymore? It's kind of like, the hop, hop, hop. It's like my ball's kind of dead right there. So I'm like, oh, well, let me see what happens if I just hit the ball right there. I got my orange ring over here on the rough line. I think I forgot to mention that. Orange ring on the rough. And we'll do this one again so I can show that a little bit better. Now, this one was only 5.4 miles an hour, so 0.6 less than last time. But we were able to sneak that one in the cup. So let's watch it again. So this is a situation where I think the ball is still coming in a little bit hot. But it shows you if we don't use the developed ball guideline like I did on the first one. So there's the red ring at the rough line. So that's what I mean by that. So that's where I'm going to be starting from here on out on this hole. And then from there, I got rid of the ball guideline. So now you see how it's kind of dead, like 2 or 3 green squares in front of the hole. I decided to settle on that and see if that helped tame the ball a little bit. And again, just because of a little bit of a crosswind, so we have a tailwind with a little bit of a push to the right-hand side, I purposely put on a little bit of left spin and aimed a little bit left of the hole just to see if we could get pushed into the hole, which is exactly what happened. So I think even a little bit more backspin. So next time I'm going to try 5 bars of backspin and see if we can get the same type of shot. All right. Hole number 8. Hole number 8, again, I'm using my extra mile level 8. You can use an Apocalypse level 5. I think that makes this drive easier, which I have, but a lot of people don't. So I decided to use my extra mile 8. But moving forward, I probably will use my APOC because it's going to require less overpower, and it's a more accurate club. But hole number 8, we're going to be using a Berserker. We're going to do 10% elevation. We're going to do around 4 to 4.5 bars of top spin. Don't do much more because I did full top spin on my first attempt and I went whizzing way past the green. So we don't want to do that. So 4 to 4.5 bars of top spin, 1 side spin to the left, 10% elevation, and then push back into max. So we'll see that here. So there's the spin. And now I'm just kind of visualize, okay, where I need to be to get in between that top part of the fairway to the green. So obviously we're going for green here. Now push back up to max. That's very important. Now look at my overpower right here. We've got about half of the ball in the bottom of the target. So we strike a perfect shot. You know, maybe with a little luck, we drop this shot, you know, get super lucky and get a hole-in-one on a par 4. But we're pretty close. So, you know, that's how you play hole number 8. That's a eagle that you got to get if you're going to want to win this tournament. Now we go into hole number 9. Hole number 9 is also a very good opportunity for a hole-in-one. Oh, it's not for a hole-in-one, for an albatross, my fault. Be awesome to get a hole-in-one on this hole. So we're going to go Titan, 10% elevation, full top, and then full right. And again, so right here, we're just splitting the fairway with our ball guideline. We're putting our ball guideline somewhere here in the middle of the fairway. 10% adjustment. Push it back up to max. Overpower, again, about half the ball, halfway through the target. I hit a great right shot. No problem. Still get a bounce on the fairway. We were close to the rough, but, you know, it's always nice if you can hit a great shot and you end up on the fairway like that. What's really important about shot number 2 is, you know, if you play Tour 9, you know that this shot is minus elevation. So instead of doing your normal 10% adjustment, this is a minus 10% adjustment. If you get your ball on the right-hand side of the fairway like I did, which is why we use full right spin on this hole, you get a really good opportunity for a rough bump here. And it's nice because you're at complete max distance of your sniper, which allows you to just go minus 10% elevation, adjust the rings at max, and just take a shot, and you'll be dead on. Now, the only thing I did wrong here is I put my ball guideline too far through the pin with tailwind. So that means I use a little bit too much top spin, which causes my ball to come in too hot, but barely. Perfect ball. Oh, look at this. I thought I had it. So that's a really, really good opportunity for an albatross. All right. Now, I thought I had one more replay saved here for you guys. So maybe it's down here. Nope. Let me try to go in here then. I do want to show you another way to play a hole number 9. Good. Let's open that over here. So let me show you a hole number 9 if you mess up your drive. Okay, so Now, this was my second attempt at this hole today, and I was really excited thinking, okay, I'm not going to use as much topspin. I'm going to get the albatross on this one. But I ruined my chance on my drive because look where I'm at. I'm on the left-hand side of the fairway because I hit a great left ball. So you see how I'm moving my sniper around here? That's a really dangerous shot to go overpower sniper with so much rough. So if you get yourself in trouble, just do this. Use some backspin, minus 10% elevation, and just curl your ball onto the green. Don't try to go through that rough, guys and gals. Don't do that. So look at my curl here. This is an easy bailout with a sniper. I could even use a little bit more backspin and got my ball to die. But that was my first time messing up, so that's an easy bailout. Now, thankful for this video, our opponent did the same thing. Our opponent ended up also on the left side of the green because he hit a great left shot. And I'll show you what he tried to do, because he was after me. And when I saw him doing this, I was like, this is dangerous. So you see he's got a lot of rough to go through at max distance of a sniper. So if you find yourself in this situation, don't try to do this. You can see he goes full topspin. He stretches his club out. His ball guideline is way past the hole. So he takes that off. That would have probably been a safer play. Now he goes with the backspin. So he settles on about 1.5 bars of backspin. He takes a shot with overpower.
Perfect shot.
And he dies in the rough. That's a dangerous play. Now, if you're a really good player, you can get yourself out of that situation. But I don't think you need to gamble like that in order to save your hole. So if you end up on the left side of the fairway and you get caught in that rough area, then do what I did. Just curl your ball onto the green with backspin, okay? So let's recap everything real quick. Hole number 1, we showed you how to pick up an eagle on. That would be a great way to start your tournament, and I don't expect to get that one every time. My goal is to get the eagle in the final round at least once. Whether it's on the front nine or back nine, I don't care. I want to drop that hole one time. Hole number 2 is the par 5, where you're going to use a kingmaker and a big dog. I am playing that hole safe. I'm laying up on the drive. I'm using the big dog for shot number 2, and we're taking the eagle, all right? Hole number 3 is going to be our quarterback rough bump with a katana. A very good shot. We left that one about 1 millimeter short of the hole for a very good opportunity for a hole-in-one. I'm not counting on that one, though, to be honest with you. That one is going to be one that I'm going to be happy if I get it once, but I'm not counting on getting it once like I am in hole number 1. Hole number 4, I do believe you need to drop this one both times if you want to gold in the tournament. Taking a shot at minimum distance of your thorn gives you a very good opportunity for a consistent ball roll. You get a lot of good ball control on that one. So that one's going to be a must eagle, I believe. And then hole number 5, now that's the hole that I showed you to play with a Win 5 Power 2 ball, where we got the hole-in-one. Now, my goal is to get that one at least once. Again, doesn't matter on the front nine or back nine. I am counting on getting that hole-in-one at least one time. Hole number 6, our best albatross opportunity hole. That one's played with the Titan and your extra mile or your APOC and your sniper. Hole number 7, the most difficult hole to get the hole-in-one of the par 3s. Now, I showed you a couple different ways to play it. Every time I played this hole today, my opponent was in the sand. Don't let that be you. Watch hole number 7 again. We hit it a little bit long one time, but it was a very easy shot for a birdie. And then we snuck it in the cup for a hole-in-one on my second time around. Hole number 8. Now, that one, I believe, again, is a must-eagle on both sides if you want to win this tournament. You got to get it on the front nine and the back nine. use a berserker. Don't forget to push your ball back into max. And again, don't use too much topspin because that ball will zoom past the hole. All right. And then hole number 9, you saw it. We hit the pin. We almost got the albatross on hole number 9. So everybody, it's a Monday. I'm very happy to have these many quality shots to show you right off the bat. I didn't have to waste any time and wait till tomorrow, Wednesday. Rookie will be out tomorrow. But again, if you guys find this helpful, please subscribe. Thank you very much.